Right, mapagpalang hapon po sa ating mga tagapakinig. Welcome po sa ating programang Sulong na Bayan. At tayo po'y dinig sa iba't pang panig ng mundo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening as case may be. Lalong-lalo po dyan sa Estados Unidos dito sa aking kinalalagyan ngayon. Good evening, good morning na rin. Kasi 12 midnight na po dito sa aming lungsod dito sa Las Vegas. At ang aking mga kapatid ay tulog na. But anyway, hello. At sa San Francisco, sa East Coast, sa West Coast, at gano'n rin dito po sa ating mga kababayan naman dyan sa gitnang silangan, sa Middle East. Dyan po sa Jeddah, sa Riyadh, at gano'n rin sa Qatar, sa Dubai. Hello po dyan. Assalamualaikum. At gano'n po sa ating mga kapatiran naman sa ASEAN countries, sa Down Under. Hello po sa Australia, at sa Japan, Korea, at Thailand, at gano'n rin sa Hong Kong, Vietnam, at malakas po tayo sa Myanmar. Ako, hindi ko na patatagalin ba dahil ang ating panauhin ay banyaga. Actually, Philippine-American ang kanyang wife, but siya mismo ay Amerikano. But of course, gusto natin bigyan ng daan itong issue. Alam niyo po dito sa Amerika, para lang malaman niyo if it's any comfort to you, no? Para maintindihan po ng mga kasamahan nating mga senior citizens at elderly dyan sa ating bayan sa Philippines, ito po ay hindi natin dapat gayahin. Bakit po? Nakakaalaran na. Don't you know, no? Very quickly, bigyan ko lang po kayo ng backgrounder. Ito pong National Institute of Mental Health dito, some 47,000 people in the US die by suicide each year. And 20 veterans take their own lives on any given day. Suicide is the 10th most common cause of death here in the United States. And there are many barriers to people with suicidal ideation getting help. For some, it is the erroneous belief that the people are sick and never gonna get better. That's for some. And then for others, it's frustrating to hear people ask, what am I going to do? Quote unquote, what am I going to do for them? Anyway, when it comes to preventing suicide, a caring person who is aware can make a huge difference. So you don't need to be a first responder or a doctor. You can help. Kayo po lahat dyan. You can help a broken heart to start to heal. Kasi common misconception na po is that only those who have dysfunctional life struggle with suicidal thoughts. This causes people to stop paying attention to others who might be struggling it. And it's often not the person you were thinking of because suicide can affect anyone. To join us in this discussion, he is he's a U.S. military veteran and is residing in Las Vegas. And to tell us what is considered a military veteran, let's ask no less than Dennis Randall Gray from Las Vegas, live here in Las Vegas. Hello, how are you doing, Dennis?
I am doing super good. I am a veteran, like you said, but I am one of the more fortunate ones that God has given me a good life, and I am very concerned when I see the veterans that are homeless. Like you said, 20 to 22 veterans commit suicide every day. Now, we're talking military veterans, but there are also police, fire, and first responders. They're all veterans, and they all go through different kinds of trauma. That's what causes these people to have mental anguish. I can't explain how much mental anguish they go on seeing their best friend being shot, or
oh my gosh, and even
blown up, or come home with their legs blown off, their arms blown off, or completely burned. I mean, you really got to feel for these people. And when they come back, now the ones that are healthy, they get good jobs because they've been trained and they have discipline. They know how to be able to get back into civilian life.
Right.
But there are the few that have endured battle scars,
Yeah.
mental and physical.
The
And
hard part, Dennis, is really the emotional, the mental part.
the
physical
mental part.
Yeah. How do they cope? How do you guys cope? Is it all right to ask you if you have been wounded in, in this military experience?
I was lucky to not be wounded in any of the battles. Okay. So again, I was in the data processing area. So I was always with computers and playing with that part of it. But in San Diego, but I never got to get really into battle. I was in the Vietnam era, and I met a lot of people that came through our ships, and I would see them, completely destroyed. I mean, these people come back. What do they do with their legs blown off, their arms blown off? What? No matter what technical knowledge they have learned, when they come out, they're just sitting at home and trying to cope with life. A lot of them get divorced. A lot of them, but I've watched some families, some wives go through the burden of carrying their husbands on their back for everything they do because those people are unable to fend for themselves. And this causes, there's three major areas. That's called PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. Then there's TBI, which is traumatic brain injuries. And then there's also MST. And most people don't talk about MST. And
what
that's
is it?
Military sexual trauma. You won't believe the sexual trauma that men and women go through. Not only the women, okay, because there's lots of rapes and everything, but that's not mentioned.
Right. Why is that? They are like fearful of just even mentioning it, or they're afraid. What are Anguish?
No, they don't want it. They don't want it to be out in the open. They want to keep it behind because people don't want to join if they hear, oh, wow, you can get raped. Okay, I'm not going to go join, That's why. So they hide all of these things. But it's absolutely amazing when you see homeless veterans.
Right.
And our country, okay? Let me tell you something. We're the only country in the world that collects income taxes, so-called income taxes from all the people and sends it to other country. What other country sends the United States even a bag of rice? Have you heard of that?
Well, it's the first time. Yeah, that was the first time, no? But again, what other countries? Now that you mention it, nothing, no one?
Nobody sends anything over here except for their downtrodden, the people who have no work, they have no, and they have no work and they want to come here for a better life. But the problem that ends up happening is the people who come here from some of those countries, they want to then change this country to be like their country. And I'm going, why did you come here? That's what you want to do.
Right. Okay. You mentioned about survivors. These, the warriors themselves. The survivors, do you guys have a program that trains women who have lost someone to suicide to talk about their loss in productive ways?
Right. See, we have the National Veteran Suicide programs. Okay. There's also other places like the Wounded Warrior Project. Then there's the what they call the Warrior Care Network. So people need to get in and start looking out for themselves, and a lot of people don't have the right resources because a lot of these people, they don't have the wherewithal to get on a computer and look for these resources that they need, because most of it is mental, and the mental issue is what's killing these people. Okay, because they sit there and they go, well, I don't have an arm or a leg or whatever. I can't get a job. I might as well kill myself.
Oh my gosh. They end up really murdering or killing themselves. Tell us, what options do veterans have when they are released from their military active duty status?
Right. Well, when they're released, what their options are to look for, if they are healthy and capable, to look for jobs in the civilian world. A lot of them who are able to get those jobs. But then the people, like I said, who have these mental anguish that they have, I mean, it's such a bad thing, because here's what happens. They trigger, these things trigger in their minds. Oh, look what happened. And, you know, some little thing happens and they trigger back to what happened when they were in combat. And combat, you're seeing your friends get blown up. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, I was just reading a story, and I know a lot of people know about Captain Kangaroo, but Captain Kangaroo was a hero in the Army. People don't know that. Okay? He was a hero. He was a hero because he would stand up and take the bullets or dodge the bullets from people to protect his men. So he was a hero. He was trying to protect. Then again, you watch a movie called Hacksaw Ridge, where a medic, he went and he saved, I don't know, 30, 40 people by crawling through all the ammunition, etc., and bringing back wounded veterans back to safety. Okay? So he himself, now, you know, a lot of the Filipino who come and join the service over here, a lot of them go in the what I call it, the medical arena. They become corpsmen, or they are in the food service area. A lot of them, the corpsmen, come across all this trauma, and it affects them just watching things. I mean, when you see somebody come in with their legs blown off or something, and you have to help them, it's trauma to you.
With disability, right. I remember I have a grandpa. He has, I think he has also U.S. military service, and I think he was okay, but the mental that you mentioned, the mental anguish is always there. He's always restless. And sometimes he'll just stop and say, no, you know, perhaps reacting to the war that he has been to. Then I will all say, come on, relax, you're okay, you're already back with us. Something.
There you go. Like you see, you have witnessed that firsthand. Now, I came here from Sri Lanka, so my parents didn't have any of this trauma. Okay, although I know my father was an excise inspector. He was like like Elliot Ness. I don't know if you know who that was, but he was going over and busting up stills and, you know, doing that kind of stuff. And, you know, it wasn't a good job for him either, because I tell you, we have come across, when I used to go out with my father on some of his things, I'd all of a sudden see somebody who hung himself.
Oh, my. That's dramatic
and that was
for you.
Stressful for us to see, why did he hang himself, you know?
Oh, my gosh. How did you cope with that, Dennis?
I pray to God that person's life God would take that person's life into his hands and do what he could. But that's about all I could do. What else can you do? You know, but I didn't let that mental image bother me. I had to get strong. I have to get strong because I wanted to be my own man. I learned how to take care of myself from a very young age. I used to, you know, do the things I needed to do. And, you know, we just learned this with our CEO teaching from a John Maxwell course, how to be strong and how to be like a rubber band. You stretch yourself and, you know, and the rubber band, you stretch yourself and then you come back and you hold everything together. Correct. Right? So, and if a rubber band is not used, what happens to it? It gets old and brittle and breaks. So it needs to be used. You need to stretch yourself. You need to get to the next goal. You look at all these Olympic athletes, and that's what these wounded warriors try to do. You get a lot of them who go out on mission of teaching other people. Just because you lost a couple of legs doesn't mean you're lost. They come back with their prosthetics, and they even win races running. And they show people just because something traumatic has happened to you doesn't mean that you need to commit suicide. But there are a lot of people who just can't handle it.
Now, well, in terms of support, you guys like getting your act together to support the wounded veterans? Is there some?
That's what we are doing right now. We are in the process of putting together a complete weekend. Veterans Day is November 11th. And then on the 13th and 14th, which is Saturday and Sunday, we are putting together right here in Nevada, in Boulder City. We are having a veterans affair where we're going to have the bikers, the motorcycle riders, the bikers coming in. We have a special group that takes, a special group of bikers that takes soldiers who have died and have nobody to look after them. These people give them a funeral procession and take them to their resting ground. And we will have that set up because we have a couple of the people who've died. Their ashes are sitting on their desks. So now we need to take those and go put them in the resting house. And that's what we're going to have that being done. We're going to have flyovers with military. We're going to have the old cars, antique cars come by. We're going to have a lot of exciting things happening here. We got a lot of people coming in, and we're doing a fundraiser. This is a fundraising event to raise money to do a complete documentary on the veteran suicide. It's a Warriors Speak documentary. It's warriors speaking out and telling others, here is my problem, here's my story, here's why I need your help.
Right. So, that will be happening, you mentioned, November 13 and 14, next month.
Right here in Boulder City, Nevada.
And what are we expecting? Some other people, different nationalities? Are you going to be inviting them, or just Americans?
No, I mean, America is a melting pot. And here's the thing. The thing is that we have different nationalities who have joined the services, and not just the military services. But like I said, the police, the fire departments, and the first responders, the ambulance people, they all suffer the same traumatic stories because they go in and they see people who have either committed suicide, blown their brains out, or these things because of what has happened. I mean, I've seen, I saw a guy that was texting and driving one of those little smart cars, the ones that look like little toys, and his stomach was cut in half. His body was laying on the road with his stomach, body, the top half on one side and the legs on the other side. So when you see things like that, now I am strong enough to be able to handle it. But there are a lot of people who can't handle that.
Like you. So, just to reiterate, those who just tuned in, we're talking about the wounded veterans, how they cope when they get back from that trauma, and how Mr. Dennis Gray here has already put up their own group to help and support. Tell us again the problems that these veterans encounter once they get back to civilian life, in addition to mental anguish.
You're right. They're looking for meaningful work so that they could be able to support themselves and their families.
Right.
And a lot of them have so much stress and so much anguish, mental anguish, from what they experienced battle-wise. Seeing their friends being blown up, seeing their friends' legs or their legs being blown off because of landmines, I mean, it's incredible the things that happen to people.
Like I remember Dennis, just to to intensify this campaign of yours. I remember Lady Diana, the landmines. That's her pet project. She was really into it, and she wanted to support because she knew what we were brains are blown up or your severe faculties are already not functioning. And she was there to really, really help. Okay, tell us what resources, now that we're talking about the resources, are available to veterans who suffered from post-traumatic syndrome and other mental and physical trauma.
Like I said, there's lots of different networks here. There's the Wounded Warrior Project. There's the Towers Tunnels to Towers Project. There's the Warrior Care Network. So the wounded warriors need to learn to get online. The VA itself, I mean, it's amazing. I was reading the VA information about wounded warriors, and they try to soften the blow. They say, don't say that 20 to 22 people commit suicide every day. Just soften it.
That's the truth. You have to say the truth. The truth will set you free. If you soften or something,
set you free. You're absolutely right. The truth will set you free. When you hide these things, then people don't face it. You got to face your fears and then overcome them. If you don't face them, you can't overcome them.
So again, you're there to, not just soften it or something, but really tell them these are the truths, but we can help in any way.
We can help, and our group that's putting this show together on the 13th and 14th, we are called the Triple Crown of Wellness. Okay?
Right.
And what they have is, and they've treated over 5,000 veterans already through this system.
That's cool already.
Right. And what they do is they give them a hyperbaric chamber, which brings them their brains back to normal, trying to anyway. We have oxygen therapy that gives your body a lot of oxygen. And finally, we have the DNA restoration program from FHP, from Forever Healthy Products. So we're trying to help these veterans in these three areas, besides the fact that they need a lot of mental counseling. Mental counseling is number one for them. These other three things come in adjunct to it to help them to get their brains back into normal, their oxygen sensing back to normal, and their DNA back to normal. So if the DNA is back to normal, then everything else will fall into place. And that's what we're hoping with this Triple Crown of Wellness. That's what we call it.
Yeah. When we come back, Dennis, we will dive in to that Triple Crown of Wellness. And you were mentioning about how to restore the brain and the immune system. But for now, tell us the pain, the one you were saying, the painful story. It still is in there. But again, how do you or your family, if you have like somebody to help for your personal part, how do you counsel them?
Well, all we can do is sit down and tell them, look, we are here to help you. We don't want to see you in this mental state. We want to help you to come out of it. And to do that, we need to talk. You need to tell us what your fears are, and we can then try to overcome those fears. We do a lot of prayer with them. That's number one. We want to pray a lot because God is in control of each and every one of us. And when we talk about the DNA restoration, God's name, Yahweh, is in your DNA. And that is something that's very important. I don't know whether you've seen that video, but the video shows you exactly where it is in your DNA. The spelling, YWAHY.
Right, as mentioned, imagine it's not just there for nothing. It has a purpose for you to really fix your eyes on Him instead of, getting help and getting support from different parts. But this one is like saying, hey, I am in control. This is my name, Yahweh. So fix your eyes on me, focus your eyes on me, and have faith in me perhaps, because faith is being sure of what you hope for and being certain of what you do not see. And another F would be put me first. Put me first in every area of your life, so I will direct your path. Isn't that cool?
And you know as well as I do, when you get in the airplane and you're flying, the stewardess comes out and she'll be telling you about the safety features. And she'll say, okay, when this yellow oxygen mask falls down, I want you, the parent, to put it on first, and then you put it on your children. Why? You are first, and if you are able to take care of them, if you are okay, then you can take care of the people around you. So that's what we want the people to learn. You are number one. You take care of yourself, then you can take care of everybody around you. And God is in control of your body and your mind, and you need to pray to Him and ask Him to help you to resolve your issues.
So are there like how many statistics for the PTSD that are not treated or untreated? Would you know?
Those are I don't have the numbers offhand, but they are not very good. Let me put it this way. I know that 20 to 22 veterans commit suicide every day. And there's 45 to 47,000 people, not just veterans, from all walks of life who commit suicide in the United States in a year, just alone. I mean, that's incredible when you think about that, you know? It's mind-blowing. Right. Why are these people committing suicide? I mean, kids commit suicide.
Sure. So regardless of any age or something, but is there a budget allocation intended to address this?
Well, the only way that we can do that is through by directing them to the right resources that are available. And that is why we formed the Triple Crown of Wellness with Dr. Janet Franco and a couple of other doctors, Dr. Denise Tropia, and a couple of other really good people who have the ability to help people with the hyperbaric chamber, with the oxygen therapy, and we, of course, with the DNA restoration for all of these people. If people only knew, see, Lolly, most people get up in the morning, they get in the car, they start the engine and drive off. As long as the car starts, they think everything is fine. But it's not until that check engine light comes on and tells them, go to the garage and see what's wrong. We don't have check engine lights, right? We have aches and pains.
Right.
And when we go to the doctor, what do they give you? They give you pharmaceutical drugs to address the symptom, but not the cause.
Not the cause. Yeah, that's the sad part. It's not the root the root cause is not being addressed. Okay, we need to take a short break, Dennis. When we come back, I want to know how we will be able to help those who are really into that mental anguish. And the medicines perhaps, and the ones that you mentioned, the DNA, can you like expound on it so that people would know that this?
Yes, we can talk about the DNA part of it, okay? All right.
Okay, take care. I'll talk to you
in a while. Thank you. We'll see you in a few minutes. Bye-bye.
Right. That's Dennis Gray, our Master Grand, and our one-star diamond for Forever Healthy Products. But we'll be right back. The Philippine Standard Time is 3:31 in the afternoon.
Si Miss Lolly Acosta, Sulong na Bayan sa DWIZ 882.
All right, we're back in our program Sulong na Bayan. Again, we're joined by our U.S. military veteran, no less than Dennis Gray, our one-star diamond of Forever Healthy Products. And we were like talking. Are you already there, Dennis? Hello.
Yes, I am. I am here.
Okay, got it. Okay, before we took a short break, we wanted to find out how we will be treating, all these traumatic experiences from our veterans, or the end. We want to end this suicide war, veteran suicide. Now, the numbers, I was told, already have we have seen a 20% growth since COVID-19 has spread across the world. That means more than 20 veterans a day commit suicide due to post-traumatic air stress and other triggering points. So how are you going to help reduce these high numbers? But you mentioned about this DNA thing. Is that part of it?
That's part of it. That's part of it. The hyperbaric chamber, the oxygen, putting more oxygen into their system, and that's called the O2 oxygen therapy that we have. This is called the triple crown of wellness. These three things are the key things to bringing them back. Well, the number one thing for every one of us is our DNA. Okay? Now, people need to understand every cell in our body. We consist of about 40 trillion cells in our body. Okay? Trillion cells. All right. 300 billion new cells are formed every day, and every cell requires 3 billion nucleotides. Okay. There are 5 nucleotides. 4 of them make up your DNA. They're called guanine, cytosine, thymine, and adenine. The T and the A, the C and the G that you see in that spiral ladder, you will see T, A, C, G, or some combination of that. And that is the blueprint for every cell in your body. Now, if you know, as well as I do, and I think everybody listening should know that before you can build anything, you need a blueprint, right?
Like
and
in
the blueprint,
building.
the foundation of the building has to be strong, right? So that it can withstand, the building can withstand planes running into it, the typhoons coming at it, the 100 miles per hour winds that are going to try to knock it over. You need to be able to give, but still stand strong. Okay? So the architects build these things so that they can, move a little, but they still come back and stand strong. The building block is your DNA. Now, people go, well, stem cells are the key to everybody's body. Well, you need to know that the stem cells themselves need the DNA. They need the nucleotides.
That's right. Okay.
Okay? Because the stem cell has to go make an organ, right? But the DNA is the blueprint for that organ. Now, when the DNA is right, then it transcribes, it breaks in half, it replaces the nucleotide thymine with a nucleotide called uracil. Now that becomes RNA, the messenger RNA. Now that comes out of the cell, goes into the cytoplasm, and forms the protein that's going to repair or make a new organ in the case of a baby, or repair the organs that are being defected by all the pathogens. I ask everybody, where is all the dust from the tires and the brakes? It's in the air. We're breathing it. There isn't one tiny little particle that's good for any one of us. Right? Right. And it's not laying on the side of the road. And there's millions of tires that are changed every day. We don't see piles of tire dust or brake dust. We're breathing it. Every one of those particles is damaging your DNA. Your DNA breaks a quintillion times every day. It needs to be
quintillion.
A quintillion. That's so many to the power 10. Okay, it's incredible. There's a TED Talks cartoon video that shows you this in a cartoon format. How your DNA breaks and these little enzymes come and repair. And not only does the enzyme repair, but they make sure that your DNA is correct. And if it's not correct, it cuts out that DNA that's wrong that they put together, because sometimes it gets mismatched, sometimes it doesn't do the right thing. So it cuts those out and replaces it. And just in case the first set of enzymes they may have missed something, another set of enzymes comes right by it and checks to make sure that the DNA is correct. And here's the thing. What they need to repair is these nucleotides, okay? And there's a product called Immunogen that Forever Healthy Products has been able to get the exclusive marketing rights worldwide.
Okay.
All right? And the worldwide exclusive marketing right gives us the ability to help everybody in this planet to bring their body back to what they call homeostasis. Homeostasis is the normal operating level.
All right.
Now, if you get in the car, like I said, and until the check engine light, when the check engine light comes on, you go to the garage, and the garage says you need some spark plugs or your oxygen sensor is not going. It might even tell you that you're low on air in your tires.
Mm-hmm.
But that is the warning that you need to go fix something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you fix it? Now, Lolly, you know as well as I do, and all your listeners know, that if your car breaks down, if your computer breaks down, or your appliances break down, you take it to the repair shop, and you get a bill for parts and labor, right?
Okay. Right, I agree.
The labor is the mechanic, the guy, the technician working on your computer or the appliances. Our body is labor for us. We need to give it the right parts it needs. I can't give you plans and say, here, build something if I don't give you the parts, right? So we are telling our body, keep us in good shape, but we're not giving it enough parts. Our food is completely depleted in nutrition.
All right.
Especially the nucleotides. Now, there are plant nucleotides and there are bovine nucleotides. Plant nucleotides are only 30 to 40% compatible with humans. Bovine nucleotides are 98 to 99% compatible with humans.
All right.
Okay? And the process of manufacturing it is patented. The product is patented. So we have a one-of-a-kind, unique product that is first to the market, that's patented, that's consumable and exclusively marketed by Forever Healthy Products.
All right.
Yes. And so this product brings your body back to homeostasis. So by giving it the right parts that your body needs for the labor to put it back together the way it should be operating at maximum efficiency. And especially this time with all the supposed viruses and bacteria that's floating around. I mean, you can't go out anywhere without somebody putting sanitizer on your hands. Guess what? The sanitizer is poison. 26 seconds on your hand, and it goes right into your body.
Oh my gosh. See, that not many people know that. They thought if they wash and sanitize their...
Oh, they think that they're happy, right? But that is, they're putting poison on their hands every day, 10, 15 times. Every time they go somewhere, they're putting more poison.
Oh my gosh. So like the COVID and the other infections, the SARS, the LARS, or whatever, there's like a lot of viruses prevailing right now. You have to address it through immunogen to regenerate your immune system. This is how we can...
You want to supercharge your immune system. All the products that we have 4 products currently. Okay? One is called beta-glucans. We have the only beta-glucan that is from the oyster mushroom, and it is purified from the oyster mushroom. It's the 1316 formula, the only beta-glucan on the market from the oyster mushroom with the 1316 formula that contains 0.35% of the liquid nucleotides in it.
Wow.
That's the only formula. Now, what that product does is it goes into your body and it destroys cysts, tumors, cancer cells, and all the other pathogens that are coming into your body and trying to invade your body. It destroys them.
Destroys it, destructs it, and takes it away, right?
Right. Now we have another product called fulvic minerals. Fulvic minerals is extracted from 10,000-year-old fossilized plants. They have not turned into rock yet. They are plant material that we can extract all these essential minerals. From 72 to 99 minerals come out of it that we need, our body needs on a daily basis.
That's the requirement you're saying. We need.
Correct. These are the things. Now, what fulvic minerals does, it detoxifies what the beta-glucans have destroyed, and it takes 60 to 70 times its own body weight in nutrition directly to the core of every cell. That is where your DNA is. Okay? It also alkalizes your bloodstream. It is an incredible product. It's an adjunct to the beta-glucans. Now, after you've taken those two, the final thing is, we call it the doctor, is the Immunogen liquid or the capsule. That's the doctor. That's the one with all the nucleotides that comes in and repairs the organs. Okay? And finally, we have a product that's like an Alka-Seltzer tablet you put in water and drink. And that, I call that the rehab product.
Okay.
We've had so much testimonies. My own testimony was
Come on, tell us your own story.
My own story. Before this, I used to have my two hands, the fourth finger would lock up in the morning. I would have to stretch it, okay? And it would hurt right here at the base. Okay, I would have to get a cortisone shot here, which would last for 4 or 5 years. And I had done it 2 times before. It lasted about 4 or 5 years. And 3 years ago, when I was introduced to Immunogen, I was getting ready to get another shot.
Okay.
I started taking the Immunogen. I used to get cramps in the morning. I was to get up at night, go to the bathroom. I had moderately high blood pressure. My blood pressure was 140 to 150, but sometimes it would get up to the 190s, you know. And it's everybody has those spikes, right? But and when I got this and I started taking it, about 3 weeks, I'm going, hey, my hands, they're not sticking anymore. No arthritis in my hands. No more cramps. No more getting up at night to go to the bathroom. Only time I go to the bathroom is if I get woken up for something else and I go, okay, I better go to the bathroom so I don't have to run in the morning. Okay? But it's not because I have to, it's because I want to. And my blood pressure is absolutely been incredible. Maria has been jealous of the fact that I tell her all the time, look at my blood pressure. In fact, one day I was telling her my blood pressure was down to 99/61. Okay, it's always under 130. It's more in the 110s to 120s.
Okay, tell us, how old are you, Dennis, if you don't mind?
I am 78 years old.
Oh my gosh. And you're like really vibrant and really dynamic, and you're like nothing.
I can do 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups. I sit here with my dumbbells, and I do about 60 curls, every day. And I got the thing over here that I squeeze with my hand.
Okay.
30 times on each hand, twice, 3 times. You know, just sitting here, I do those things, and I can do 50, 60 sit-ups, no problems. Okay?
In other words, Dennis, in your testimony, all these bones, marrows, joints, ligaments, or every fiber of your, the body, it is nourished. There's like a dry, because when you say arthritis, the bones get dry up. Now with the Immunogen, it renews or regenerates, and it nourishes for the bones to really regenerate.
Correct. Now, here's what you need to know. Immunogen works on all creatures, okay? Whether they're animals, birds, or humans.
Okay.
Now, our dog, one of our Shih Tzu dogs, in November 2019, he took a bath, and after the bath, he was walking on his front legs, dragging his back legs behind him. I go, what happened to the dog?
Right.
So we took him the next day and had an X-ray done on him, and it showed that the 3 discs right near the tail were bone to bone. And he was having so much pain, he was dragging his back legs around. I felt so sorry. I picked him up, put him in his bed, and I gave him some Immunogen and some fulvic minerals, 1 milliliter and an eyedropper full of fulvic minerals. In the morning when I woke up, the guy had crawled out the doggy door and gone outside. So I thought, well, he can walk, right? So I went over there and I tried to call him, and he looked at me with such a sad face. I took a video of it, okay? And I carried him in and out of the house 2 or 3 times for the day, and I gave him 3 times a day 1 milliliter of the fulvic mineral, the Immunogen, with an eye dropper full of fulvic minerals 3 times a day. On the 3rd day, he was standing up with his back legs, but he kept falling down.
That's awesome.
He was standing up, but he kept falling down.
He kept falling down.
And a week later, he came to me with a toy in his mouth. I threw it about 10 feet. He ran over, picked it up, brought it to me, and then he fell down. A week later, he's now a regular dog.
Right. That's cool. You know what? The time is really fast and furious. We just have to tell our audience, give us your parting shots or message of hope, especially to the war, the veterans who are thinking they might end up their lives, but, we have to prevent it. Go ahead. You have 2 minutes, Dennis.
Well, okay. Here's the number one thing that's most exciting to me. Okay. The company has just about finished getting approval from the FDA for a product that'll go and repair the nerves.
Oh, this time the nerves.
Specifically for that. Okay? Now, the product does that. Okay. We have it. But this is now, it's more targeted product. It's targeting the nerves. It's a neural kind of product. Yeah. It's the 1-2 punch that we want to get. So what we want to introduce to the veterans and all the people that need this, not just the veterans, but anybody who needs the hyperbaric chamber, the oxygen therapy, and the Immunogen therapy, the DNA restoration. It's absolutely incredible that when I introduce this to people, because not just my testimonial, but Maria herself has got an incredible testimonial.
I will have Maria next time. But for now, we have to part and say,
I know.
Thank you so much, but I had a wonderful time talking to you. Maria would be perhaps next week, so that, you can expound on more.
Thank you
so much, Dennis. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, we will finally meet. Huh? I'm so happy that you're here in Las Vegas. I said, when are we meeting, Lolly?
There's tomorrow, okay? So
thank you. Thank you very much.
Dennis.
Have a great day.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's Dennis Gray, our Grandmaster for the Forever Health products and our U.S. military veterans who had told us, and really, really encourage us not to do anything untoward. So God bless you, Dennis, and of course, Marie, I'll see you tomorrow. And thank you, Engineer Fred Balamal. Jerry Barreto and Micah and all our staff at the newsroom. And this has been Lolly Rivera Acosta. Catch us again on Thursday next week for our Marangal na Seniors. As I always say, keep God first in every area of our lives, so He will crown our efforts with success. God bless. I'll see you. Bye.
Bye.
Si Miss Lolly Acosta, Sulong na Bayan sa DWIZ 882.